Sometimes kindness arrives in the most unexpected moments, right when life feels heaviest and most unfair. This is one of those true stories that reminds us how powerful a single act of compassion can be. A tired single dad, a simple traffic stop, and a police officer who chose humanity over protocol. What started as a potential ticket became a turning point that changed lives. Before we dive in, if you love emotional, real-life stories about hope, resilience, and unexpected kindness, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us keep bringing these meaningful stories to you. Now, let's step into that cold Tuesday afternoon. The sky hung low and gray over a quiet suburban town in the United States. It was the kind of day where everything felt heavier, the air damp and chilly, the wind whispering through bare trees. Daniel Parker, 34 years old, gripped the steering wheel of his old, reliable sedan so tightly his knuckles turned white. In the rearview mirror, flashing red and blue lights painted his tired face. His heart sank. Life had not been kind to Daniel these past 3 years. Since his wife Sarah passed away from a sudden illness, he had been both mother and father to their 7-year-old daughter, Lily. Every day was an exhausting balancing act. He worked long shifts at a local warehouse, early mornings, heavy lifting, and strict deadlines. Then came school drop-offs, picking Lily up, helping with homework, cooking simple meals, and stretching every single dollar until it screamed. That particular Tuesday had been especially difficult. Lily woke up with a mild fever and couldn't go to school. Daniel had begged his supervisor for just 30 extra minutes so he could stay home with her until the fever broke. By the time he left, he was already running late for his shift. In his desperation to make it on time and avoid yet another warning at work, he pushed the gas pedal a little harder than he should have. Now, here he was. Officer Emily Carter stepped out of her patrol car with calm confidence. She was in her late 20s, with blonde hair neatly tied back in a ponytail, her uniform crisp despite the long day. Her expression was professional, but there was a warmth in her eyes that many officers lose over time. "Good afternoon, sir," she said gently, approaching the driver's side. "I'm Officer Emily Carter. Do you know why I pulled you over today?" Daniel swallowed hard, his mouth dry. "Yes, ma'am. I was speeding. I'm really sorry." Emily nodded and asked for his license and registration. As Daniel reached into the glove compartment, his hands trembled slightly. He hated this moment, the vulnerability, the embarrassment, the fear that one mistake could push his fragile life over the edge. While waiting, Emily glanced inside the car. Her eyes landed on the child booster seat in the back, covered with a soft blanket, and the small pink backpack sitting beside it, decorated with colorful stickers and a little stuffed unicorn peeking out. "You have a child?" she asked, her tone softening. "Yes," Daniel replied quietly. "My daughter, Lily. She's 7. Emily took his documents and returned to her patrol car to run his information. Daniel sat staring straight ahead, mentally calculating the damage. A speeding ticket for 15 miles over the limit would cost at least a couple $100, money he had already mentally assigned to groceries, Lily's new school shoes, or the heating bill that was already overdue. When Emily returned, she held her ticket pad in hand. The scratching sound of the pen seemed deafening in the quiet afternoon. "Mr. Parker," she began, "you were going 15 miles over the speed limit." Daniel nodded, defeated. "I understand. I wasn't paying attention. That's completely on me." But then he added, almost in a whisper, "I'm not making excuses, officer. Life's just been really hard lately." Emily paused, looking at him more closely. "What do you do for work?" "I work at the warehouse on the edge of town. Early mornings, long shifts, sometimes overtime just to keep up." She hesitated for a moment, then asked gently, "And your wife? If you don't mind me asking." Daniel's voice cracked slightly. "She passed away 3 years ago. Cancer. It's just me and Lily now." A heavy silence fell between them. Emily's pen stopped moving. She looked at the half-written ticket, then back at the exhausted father in front of her. In that moment, something shifted inside her. She had seen many drivers, some angry, some entitled, some genuinely struggling. Daniel was the latter. She took a deep breath. "You know," she said slowly, a small smile touching her lips, "if you weren't a widower trying to raise a little girl, I might have added my number to this ticket instead of a fine." Daniel blinked in surprise, then let out a soft, weary chuckle, the first time he had smiled all day. The tension in his shoulders eased just a fraction. Emily closed the ticket pad with a decisive snap. "Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Parker. Today, I'm giving you a warning instead of a citation." Daniel's eyes widened in disbelief. "Really?" "Yes," she said firmly. "But I need you to promise me something important." "Anything," he replied quickly, emotion rising in his throat. "Slow down. Not just on the road, though that too, but in life when you can. Your daughter needs you safe. The world needs good fathers like you." Tears welled up in Daniel's eyes. He nodded, unable to speak for a moment. "I promise." Emily wasn't finished. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small card. "This is for a local community center," she explained. "They have excellent programs for single parents, food assistance, affordable childcare, parenting support groups, even counseling when things get overwhelming. A lot of people don't know it exists." Daniel took the card like it was made of gold. "I had no idea. Thank you." Then Emily walked back to her patrol car and returned with a small brown paper bag. "I keep a few of these in the car for moments like this," she said softly. "Nothing official. Just some snacks, juice boxes, a couple of granola bars, and a small gift card for groceries. For families who might need a little lift." Daniel accepted the bag, his hands shaking. Tears finally spilled down his cheeks. "You have no idea what this means to me. I was so close to breaking today. Thank you, truly." Emily smiled warmly. "I think I do. Drive safe, Mr. Parker. Give Lily a hug from me." As Daniel pulled back onto the road, the gray sky seemed a little less heavy. For the first time in years, he felt truly seen, not as a speeding driver or a struggling parent, but as a human being doing his best. That evening, when he tucked Lily into bed, she looked up at him with her big innocent eyes. "Daddy, are we okay?" she asked, noticing the extra snacks on the counter. Daniel smiled, brushing her hair back gently. "Yeah, sweetheart. We're going to be just fine." In the following weeks, Daniel visited the community center. What he found there changed everything. He connected with other single parents who understood his struggles. They helped him with temporary childcare so he could work without constant worry. He attended workshops on budgeting and grief support. Slowly, the weight he had carried alone for 3 long years began to lighten. He even made a few close friends who became like family. Life didn't suddenly become easy. There were still hard days, late bills, and lonely nights. But now he had tools, resources, and hope. Years later, Officer Emily Carter was at the police station when a letter arrived addressed to her. She opened it curiously. It was from Daniel. He wrote about how Lily was now thriving in school, making honor roll and even joining the soccer team. He had received a promotion at the warehouse and was now in a supervisory role with better hours and pay. Most importantly, he said that single moment of kindness on that cold Tuesday afternoon had kept him from giving up when he was standing on the edge. At the bottom of the letter, Daniel had written in clear handwriting. "Thank you for seeing me as a person, not just a problem. You didn't just give me a warning that day, you gave me hope." Emily sat quietly at her desk for a long time, reading the letter again. A small smile crossed her face. She never expected to hear from him, but the words touched her deeply. Kindness doesn't always look big or dramatic. Sometimes it looks like choosing a warning instead of a ticket. Sometimes it's handing over a simple resource card or a bag of snacks. Sometimes it's just a few kind words when someone feels invisible and exhausted. You never know what someone else is carrying when they cross your path. The stranger in the car next to you, the tired parent at the store, the coworker who seems short-tempered, they might be one small act of compassion away from finding the strength to keep going. So let's choose understanding. Let's choose empathy. Let's choose kindness, one moment, one conversation, one small gesture at a time. Because that's how we change lives. Sometimes, the smallest acts create the biggest ripples. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, be the reason someone believes in goodness again. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next story.